Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to wrap up our assignment 7 working on this Columbia page. There's really just a couple other things to take care of here. I want to get a basic styling for this search box up in the upper right over in that part of that nav bar, and I'd like to do this little drop down here as well. That doesn't look too tough. I haven't done this one yet, but I think we can figure it out based on techniques we've used for this main nav. So here's our page as it is. Now, just before the video I started it up, I had one CSS rule related to that search bar over here to make it kind of a bluish green. I got rid of it from there and I put it over onto my separate and new CSS file, or I'm going to put it onto my new CSS file, which is blank. And on the HTML side of things, I am referencing another CSS sheet. So basically, I've got a CSS file just for the overall layout of the page, Columbia navigation. 0. I've got a CSS rule just for the top bar, which I haven't done much on that one there. That's if you want to do the extra credit stuff. Of course, the main nav is what we just spent a bunch of time working on to get the this menu going over here. It looks pretty cool. Winter sale, it's right in winter sale, and then I can look at these different areas. So now I'm working on other, which is just these remaining key items. So on the CSS, and here's what I'm going to have. Do I even have a picture? I do. I already took a picture. This is off to the side. It's just the basic search look that I'm going for here. We won't get it exactly right, but we'll get it pretty darn close, I think. It looks pretty good, but we'll work on that. Okay, so let me just move my picture off so I can kind of glance at it. And let's see, so what we had before, we had a form hashtag search1. Had like a min width of 250 pixels. Let's zoom in on that. And a height of 90 pixels. Okay. Position absolute. And it was over to the right, I think 0 pixels, top 0 pixels. Then we had some wacky color on there too, but I'm gonna do, so if I had a background color of pink, we'd see it's gonna be a big square that kind of takes up that spot there. Yeah, we don't need that. So we don't need a background color on it, and it will adopt obviously the background color of that whole nav bar, which is really what I want to do. Now after that search one, I want to style this text box, and I want this text box to be kind of the container for everything. If I didn't do it this way, I was thinking maybe a field set element, but this text box, I'm going to put that thin border on there. So the text box is actually going to contain the little submit spyglass icon there. All right. Now to style that specifically, that's going to be my input square bracket. This is an attribute selector, type equals text. Now, since I only have one text box, it's not going to be a really big deal. But I am going to do display block on this and go ahead and give it a width. I guess I have some numbers earlier, 220 pixels. Since this search form is 250, I'll make it about 220 wide with a height of about 40 pixels. So I'm just kind of looking at it take shape over here. Now, I'm going to set the background color to be hashtag 333, which is the same kind of darkish gray as the nav bar, so I can't really see it anymore. So let me give it a border, 2 pixels solid light gray. So now I can visualize it again. All right. Now I would like to get it placed closely, so I think what I'm going to do, I think I'll do transform, translate. Now just translate, you get an X and a Y, so I'm going to move it. Actually, its left positioning is pretty darn good. I'm just kind of looking at the picture, so I don't even know. I'll do 0 pixels from the left and 22 pixels from the top. Yeah. Don't worry about, it looks like I lost my little submit button. It's just gone underneath here. So if this background color was transparent, there we go. We'll see through it. Maybe that's the way it should be. Who knows? So I'm seeing through there. All right, that actually, based on the picture, looks pretty good. 23 pixels from the top. All right, placeholder text, that's right. So let's go down to the HTML. Their search box already has the text search in there. That's a placeholder. Search with a capital S. Okay, that button that's showing up. However, let's play around with the font size and the color. That little submit button is kind of distracting, but just kind of put it out of your mind for a moment. Font size 1.7M. How does that look? Ooh, actually it looks pretty good to me. I'm going to adjust it a little bit. Padding left 4 pixels. I like it. Now if I type in this, my text comes in black. So let's see. Color white. Now that changes my placeholder text, which I don't want that to have. Ooh, no, it doesn't. Yeah, my placeholder is still light gray, but when I type, it comes in white. Yeah, that's good. I like that just the way it is. I think I might be okay there. Let's see. Now I just need that submit button. Now for the submit button, I don't want to actually have the word submit. So I checked this out earlier and this works. It's very cool. I'm loving these entities today. So I found a little, what looks like a magnifying glass entity, and there's the code for it. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put it right in here in the value, but not in quotes. Just like that. And I know it's so tiny. Just trust me, I think this is going to work. I got a tiny little magnifying glass right there in that button. That button's just not in the right spot. So let's see, that's a style that here. Input, square bracket, type equals submit. Okay, got a lot going on in this one. But of course, display block. And I'm going to set the width to 30 pixels and the height to 30 pixels to make it a nice little square shape. There we go. You can see that square shape working. Now let's see. This is inside of my search 1, which is position absolute. That'll work. And I can do position absolute here. Top 0 pixels, right 0 pixels. Like to start from there. Cool, it's all the way over to the side. So if I move it down, and based on my translate number, down 23 pixels, so if I move it down 24 pixels from the top, and maybe 25 or 26 will be better. I'm just looking at its alignment based on that border, maybe 26. And then I want to move it from the right. Well, the thing is 30 pixels wide, so maybe like 33 pixels from the right. That looks pretty good. I'm going to make it a little bigger. Oops. How big is this text box again? Oh, it's 40 pixels tall. Wow. So let's do 34 pixels by 34 pixels. And then I can move it down 27 pixels from the top. That looks pretty darn balanced. Now I want that magnifying glass to be bigger, so I'm going to do font size 20 pixels. Ooh, 30 pixels. I think that's going to be pretty good. I need to move it up though. Line height of 0. Yeah, that's good. Let's blow this up some more. 34 pixels. I like it. Color. Let's get rid of the background color. Background color transparent. I want the color to be bright, and I'll do that same light shade of gray. Looks good. And transform. Rotate negative 30 degrees. Just give it a little twist. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. And search for something, and then this will be my submit button. It looks a little funny when you click on it, I guess. And it would work. Obviously, this is a non-functioning form, no big deal for this class. But yeah, it's kind of neat. I'd like to get a little hand on there. What happens when you normally hover over the button? Oh yeah, you do get a little hand. I bet they did theirs with JavaScript. Yeah, maybe they didn't. Yeah, I didn't investigate too much, but yeah, I like having that little hand on there. So let's cursor pointer. There we go. So now we got a little pointer hand as well. All right. I'm gonna call that good. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. Look at that. Just a few CSS rules takes care of that search box. And what do we have left to work on? All right, here we go. This is going to be a head scratcher. So let me put my mouse on that. Take a picture of it. Open in my image editor. And so that's what I'm going to be basing some ideas off of. And we may not get this exactly. For instance, I noticed, maybe I'll let you handle that part. You know, I noticed this little triangle points to the right, but when you hover over it, changes down. That's, you know, it's just a quick change. It's not too dramatic, so don't read too much into it if I don't do it here with you for the assignment. But it's pretty easy, and I want to get that taken care of. Just kind of rushing a little bit because it is it's approaching Sunday evening, and I'd like to have these videos out and ready in our weekly content folder, so that way you can start working on the assignment stuff for week 7 as soon as Monday rolls around. And it'll take a bit to process these videos and get them up and put in some links and things like that. So yeah, so let's go ahead and take care of that. So otherwise, it's a very pleasing little menu, a little drop-down menu. All right, pretty cool. All right, well, let's see what we can do here with this. I'm going to put that picture off to the side. Let's go to ours. Now, what do I have on the HTML? So in my hero, I have... Now, this hero link is not what you think. That's not what we're working on. The hero link is just this big overall item. I still need something inside of that, which is going to be my call to action, I guess. How do I want to do this? Let's do it as a nav. Yeah, let's be legit. Yeah, class equals hero call to action, hero CTA. Unordered list, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, there's so many ideas that I haven't done this one yet that I'm thinking could be good. So I'm wondering, because we only want to see that first option available. A couple ways I could think to do this. We could do this as like an anchor tag in here with an unordered list kind of hidden behind it. And that's kind of an interesting idea to me. And when you hover over the anchor, the unordered list appears. I suppose we can rig it though with our unordered list as it is now. That's probably good for accessibility. And let's see if we can't rig it so that only the first list item is available. And then maybe just a submenu under the others. Yeah, shop trail, because that's really what it is. It is a submenu. So let's do this. List item, anchor href equals hashtag shop trail closing anchor. Okay, so that's the main list item. All right, and then after the closing anchor tag, but before the closing list item, we've got another unordered list. And that unordered list has 1, 2, 3, 4 list items. So we need list item child anchor times 4. Put in those hashtags, and then the text is shop men's, shop women's. Whoa, where did I click? Oh, I clicked on my little navigation tool over here. Shop kids and shop footwear. Cool. All right. Yeah, it's not too bad. So it's one list item, anchor, that has a 4-item submenu within it. Yeah, that's probably the most logical way to do this. Let's look at ours and start to clean it up. So let's see. I'm going to do this on this same other CSS. What is this thing called? It is called Hero CTA, and that's a nav. I'm going to be nav hero hashtag hero CTA. All right, and I must not have that correct, so let's see what I've got here. It's a class, so I need a dot on there. There we go. All right, so I just put that red border just so I could visualize where things are going. I'm going to be glancing at my picture, and I know this is going to be roughly, it's going to be horizontally centered and in the lower portion of that hero graphic. All right, let me do a little bit of styling first with it. Good news is, I think we can style all the anchor tags equally up to a point. So they're all going to be display block. They're all going to be a certain width. Oh, we can figure this out, right? What if I went here, use my little measure tool? They're all going to be roughly, oh, I already lost it. Oh, there it is up there. So it looks like they're about 180 wide by 35 tall. Looks like it was a little proud on there. All right, 180 by 30. Coolio. All right, and let's give them a background color. Of white. All right, what happened there? Display block. Oh, you know what? Well, let's see. No, that should be okay. Hero CTA, all the anchor tags in there. I think I need to limit these list items, so let's do it this way. What if all of my list items? There we go, that's much better. Now, I do need to style those anchor tags, of course. nav.heroCTA anchors. I misspelled that. Of course, list items are already display blocks, so we don't need that there. Anchors will be display block. Width will be 100%. Height will be 100%, filling up the list items basically. That's fine. And of course, text decoration, none. Text align center, line height about 30 pixels. Looks pretty good to me. Font weight bold. Text transform. They're all uppercase letters, it looks like. Font size 0.8 em. Let's make them a little smaller. Oh, of course, good old font family Verdana. Yep. All right. I'm just glancing over at the picture, just getting the basic shape down. Looking pretty good. These seem like they might be taller than 30 pixels. I don't know if did I miscount that? Oh, I definitely miscounted. It should have been like 35 pixels. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's better, different. All right, let's get these positioned where we want them to be. So I'm going to take this nav. I'm going to position it absolute. I think the hero is already positioned, right? I don't remember if it is or not, if my hero already has a position relative on it. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Here's how we can find out. I'll just do bottom 0 pixels, left 0 pixels, and we'll see where it shows up. Yeah, it must be good. So I must already have a position relative on this. Yeah, I think I remember doing that. And we can see that's in the lower left there. So I don't want it to be 0 from the bottom. I don't know, 50 pixels from the bottom. And of course, left, we want 50%. That moves it too far over, so we do a transform, translate x -50%, which is 50% of the width of the anchor, or the list item, or the nav. There we go. I think that's pretty good. I think getting to a pretty good spot here. nav.hero.cta list item, unordered list, display 9. I want to get that out of my way for a moment. It's too distracting. Just want to see that. Make that font a little bit bigger. Get rid of that red border. Its purpose has been fulfilled. And let's change my line height a little bit now. Let's go to like 33 pixels. Okay. Yep, just glancing up there, that looks pretty good. Now they must have actually put this little arrow in as part of the text. You can just tell by the centering, because it's not like the word shop trail is centered and the little triangle is off to the side. But the little triangle or the little arrow is actually part of the text, part of the centering, which means they must have actually stuck it. You know, it's literally right in there, which I guess is not a tough thing to do. Obviously, we could just change that on hover, I suppose, but yeah, just kind of food for thought. But I don't know if I'll do that. Okay, so now we just need to rig it so that we hover over this. It changes. I think it changes colors. We'll have to see it on the original. Yeah, it's white, but when you hover, it changes to gray, and then the drop-down menu shows up. Let's go to ours. All right. And obviously when it drops down, it's going to go past the hero graphic. All right, nav.hero.cta list item :hover. And then we want to go to the unordered list. Display block. All right, that's showing up. You know, I never got rid of all that list style type none. Get rid of those bullets. There we go. That was easy. Oh, there's some box shadow on it. That looks pretty nice. That's going to be on the whole nav, I believe. So let's go to the whole nav. Box shadow, what does it have? Ooh, it looks pretty blurry and prominent. So let's do something like 2 pix, 2 pix, 7 pix, 2, 2, 2. It'll be easier to see when it's expanded. And I don't see any reaction at all there. And that's because my nav is too limited. This really should be on that unordered list. Let's cut that. Should be around there. I'm going to change this to display block so I can see this at once. There we go. Now I can kind of look at it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see my shadow line up there, which it doesn't show up on theirs. But theirs is much softer. And who knows? I don't know if maybe they don't even, yeah, it's probably like that. Maybe I can just, maybe if I just blur it out even more. So what if this is something more like 10 pixels? 20? Ooh. Yeah, I might have to, I'm not sure if I can fix that up there. I have to, I'm not exactly sure what they're doing to get that shadow effect. Maybe I'm a little too dark. Yeah, that seems okay to me. It's definitely not what they've got. Theirs still looks a little bit less obvious, but I'm starting to feel pretty good about that. What if I did something like 5 and 5? Let's see, so the X, it's the horizontal shadow, and then the Y, what if I might just move it down a little bit more? Yeah, mine is still a little bit more noticeable, but I'm okay with that. However, I want to see if I can't, I don't know if this is going to work, because I think one shadow is covering up the others, but let's go up to that first list item. And I don't think I have a rule for that yet. I don't think I could do it here, right? Let's find out. What if I said I want a box shadow that is 0 and 0 and 0? And I'll just do something like black. Yeah, that doesn't seem to have as like an impact like I thought it would. I thought I might be able to negate the one box shadow, but I think it's just preventing that. However, I did a Z index 10. Yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm lying to you. Who knows? All right, I'm going to live with that, though. That doesn't bother me so much. So let's go back to this unordered list. Display none. Yeah, that's the basic idea. Okay, how fancy do we want to get with this before we call this done? Now their menu seems to do, oh, I got to do that little color change. Let's take care of that real quick. That shouldn't be too tough. It's white. Actually, it actually kind of works already. Maybe that's why you can't see the shadows so much on theirs, because it changes to gray. So let's see, this is my main list item. And I guess I'll stick it. Yeah, I'll stick it right there. Doesn't matter. nav.hero CTA unordered list child list item hover background color light gray. I bet that's why I don't notice the shadow so much, because they're changing that menu over to light gray so it doesn't stand out. So yeah, okay. And color black on these anchors. All right, so here's what I was going to get at. Little slidey down effect, kind of neat. Now to make a neat little kind of drop down effect, I'm going to slide these things down. Let's try a couple things up here. So for the unordered list, I think what I'm going to do is make its height. Actually, let's turn this on momentarily so we can see it. Block, display block, so we can visualize that going on. And I'm going to set the height of this to 0 pixels. Okay. Now that's the unordered list, which is basically the container for those list items. So I'm happy with that. However, let's also make sure the nav.heroCTA list item, unordered list item, the list items within that submenu, I want them to also have a height of 0 pixels. Perfect. See how they all scrunch up to nothing? However, you can still see all the text is all scrunched up right in there. So the text wasn't included in that height control. So we'll have to take care of that. What if we did a font size of 0 pixels? Nice, takes care of the text. Good, good, good. Okay, so now we want these things to regrow, basically. So let's see, we're going to do display none on that. That shouldn't have much of an impact because it's already gone. However, nav.hero CTA. Okay, we got that part. List item : hover the unordered list. So this is the unordered list that was previously display none. We got to do a display block on that, and I got to set its height back. Its height, there's 4 of those 35 pixel items, so the height needs to be 140 pixels. 35 times 4. Does that do anything? It does something. See that? Ooh, let's go ahead and do a transition on here. So let's see. Let's take this. Let's do a transition on the height. 300 milliseconds. Ease in, out. I don't really notice that so much. I think I'm spelling everything right. Well, let's see once we get the other content in there. Okay, so that's the, I already had a display block for that one. No big deal. Actually, I'll put this to use because I do need something else. I got to get those list items back. So the unordered list items. Now they have a couple things on there. They have their heights need to be 35 pixels tall, and their font size has to go back to that 0.9 em from earlier. That could be good. All right, now let's go to the list items. Transition, height, 300 milliseconds, ease in, out. Not getting a little effect there. Let's see, do I have something misspelled? Maybe it's this. Let me go back to display block, because I guess don't need that. The items are all there, they're just all hidden away under 0 pixels. Ah, that takes care of it. All right, well, that's a pretty neat effect. Maybe not exactly what they're doing over here. Actually, maybe it is exactly what they're doing over there. It just goes a lot faster. Now, obviously, we can make it faster. Instead of 300 milliseconds, we could do like 200 or 150 milliseconds, but I think that's good enough for now. That kind of gets us there. It's getting late for me. I still want to process all of these videos, so yeah, let's go ahead and call that good. Yeah, this is a really interesting, challenging assignment. I hope you learn a lot from it. And obviously, go slow, pause often, back up, try something different, and see how that works for you. But otherwise, thanks for hanging out with me. It's a lot of videos I know to go through, so I will certainly encourage you to start early, and yeah, maybe we'll just kind of incorporate this into a quiz too, so we won't necessarily have a separate quiz. That'll be kind of nice just to kind of play around with this particular exercise and see how that works. Never did any animation on this top part here, so, or at least on this version with you, so maybe that's something you can throw in there, maybe using a technique that you saw here. Kind of neat. All right, well, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.